And when we say the pod deck, it's not so much like a Kibler style Naya pod. This is the whole deal of birthing pod. It chains all the way up to Elesh Norn, through Worm Coil engines, Geistarner Monk, Thrag, Tusk, 3 birthing pods. And one of the more interesting things, which I think will make him a little bit weaker in this matchup, is that instead of playing the typical Strangleroot Geist in this deck, he's gone with Elvish Visionary out of M13 in that slot.
Now, one of the things that's interesting about Adam's deck, Adam has only one creature that can survive Elesh Norn should it land. That is Augur of Bolas.
Right.
And so an Elesh Norn landing will be a big deal. From this, he can potentially have a creature survive with a sword on it. Well, it will survive with a sword on it, but Caleb is in a position where a birthing pod would be pretty powerful in this matchup.
Wow, and an interesting keep here from Caleb. So he's getting taxing probed. Triple Thalia, Blade Splicer, Avacyn's Pilgrim, Wormcoil Engine, and a Cavern of Souls. It does stop the counter spells, but this is I don't know.
I don't like this keep at all.
Keep.
I mean, a gut shot would be devastating.
Right, so he's got to kind of hope that Prosak doesn't have a gut shot here. I can draw off that. Either way, though, Thalia, strong card against Delver. Triple Thalia, I mean, it is legendary, so you have to be a little careful there. And Prosak will just go with Delver of Secrets.
Is that a land? Human.
Yes, Cavern, unsurprisingly named
Pilgrim.
And yes, well, he did draw Forest, so it looks like he's in the clear to cast spells this game. Yep, Delver.
This is exactly how I do my insectile aberrations. Ponder. I really enjoy just not using those really, I think, ugly proxy cards.
Yeah, the checklist ones. Yeah, I agree. I'm not a huge fan of checklist cards.
But putting the card all the way back in just is sort of annoying. So leaving it out like that, that's kind of what I do.
It looks like 1 land, 2 spell Ponder for Adam Prosak. Gotta look at his hand. My guess is that's going to be a keep, though. And Caleb, the turn 1 flips Delver is going to give Prosak the ability, just a straight race here. Remember, Caleb's hand, really just a 1-1 and then a 2-1. Well, let's have Blade Splicer in it. And Prosak's going to Mutagenic Growth his, just for damage, Mutagenic Growth right away on his Insectile Aberration. And they'll follow that up with a tapped Glacial Fortress and a pass of the turn. Caleb gets to decide whether or not he's going to follow in with Blade Splicer or Thalia at this point. He draws, looks like maybe another Thalia. It can't be another Thalia. I think it's another Avacyn's Pilgrim. Yes, and it is. So Thalia and Pilgrim will join the fight here. Prosak crashing in again, putting Caleb down to 12. And another Delver of Secrets. And this one has been set up, so we should expect this guy here to flip. Prosak with no more plays because Thalia is keeping all his good 1-mana plays in check.
4 mana available to Caleb right now. 2 extra Thalias hanging out.
Yep. All the way up to 5 if he wants it. He's probably going to just attack with all the guys and make a Blade Splicer, though.
There's another mana.
There is, of note, that there's a Wormcoil Engine in his hand. I don't know if that second cavern named Worm. My guess is that it did.
If it didn't name Worm, it probably named Angel?
Yeah, but he doesn't have the Angel in his hand.
Blade Splicer.
Right. Yeah, that second one is on Worm.
Yeah, I know he doesn't have the Angel in his hand. It's more that if he didn't...
Wormcoil's a little late here. The big problem is that Caleb's at 12, which is a nice little multiple of 6. So a Ponder from Adam Prosak. But, Caleb's...
One turn away
from death. Land and a go. See what Caleb draws, but otherwise we're going quickly, I think, to a game 2 here.
And remember, I believe Prosak has a Vapor Snag that he's held back. Geist Honored Monk. Wow, that is awesome. So now Prosak needs 2 Vapor Snags to get the kill in.
Well, the thing is, he also needs a land.
Snag and a gut shot.
He also needs to land with it because due to Thalia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Vapor Snag, gut shot. He needs some sort of double kill spell. And those Delvers really choking him up on mana. So both players at 6. Has Caleb managed to race here? A double Delver flip is very hard to, two Delvers early on is very hard to race.
I think he might have.
Yeah, it looks like he has.
That Geist Honored Monk that he naturally cast. We were talking
yesterday
about Caleb's ability to play 1-ups.
And Prosak looking at it, I think Prosak just also surprised that somehow that he's not winning this right now.
He's like, yep.
Yeah.
Watching his face there was great. He just kind of... So what if Adam attacks, he forces the block on at least one of them? I guess he doesn't have to block with both of them, does he?
I mean...
And then
right,
bounces something? He's still dead. Yeah. I mean, there's too much stuff. There's the 3 damage, 2 damage, 1/1.
Geist on her to Monk. Yeah, he's still dead when Caleb drops the card. So Caleb Durward steals the first game there, defeats 2 flipped Delvers. Thalia, a very potent, a very good weapon against Delver.
Yeah. Now, you and I both were kind of not very happy with that hand, but it's mostly, I think, on the back of really needing to rip land and having 3 Thalias, but the land did come, and the first Thalia landed and did enough work that it was able to suppress Adam's place.
I think we were concerned because it was a 1-land hand, which 3 cards in it were pretty dead, and we know the second and third Thalias and the Wormcoil engines never showed up there. So Caleb, the hand needed a lot of help. It got a lot of help.
It got it.
So that was really fortunate for him.
I believe we're going back now to the premium giveaways that we do at every one of these events. To enter into the premium giveaway contests, what you need to do is answer a trivia question Matthias has generously decided to supply for us. And you answer that trivia question with the hashtag right here. You can see it underneath the SCG Live banner, hashtag SCG Premium. One lucky person who answers the question correctly using that hashtag will get 6 free months of premium. Yeah. And we've got an even bigger prize for the finals.
Okay, so this one's a little bit for the magic flavor people out here. Some of you are going to groan when I say that. It's from the panel from Comic-Con, which we learned about Return to Ravnica just an evening or so ago. We have confirmed that we have some new guild leaders in town in Ravnica. I'm going to ask you...
In town?
In town, yeah.
It's a big city.
It is a big town, I can say that. So,
New York's a fine town.
If you've read any of the books, this is one of your main characters.
If you've read the books,
okay. The question is, who is the new guild leader for the Golgari Guild that we will be seeing in here? The Golgari Guild, if you recall, the villains of the first book.
Is it Lord of Extinction?
It's probably not Lord of Extinction. It's the right colors. It's not Spiritmonger either.
I was going to ask if it was Spiritmonger. Yeah. That guy's really cool.
Or Vati Ildal. None of those guys.
Okay.
But who is? So yeah. And if you don't know this, you can probably find this on.
I have a question
very
for you.
Easily.
So did Vati Ildal get thrown off of the Weatherlight forcibly by?
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes. Vati Ildal got thrown off Weatherlight by Grevin.
So make sure you answer Matthias's question, which is once again.
Yes. What? And I'll give it. Okay, I'll give a clue. What elf?
Who an elf?
It's an elf. What elf from the novels is confirmed as the new Golgari Guild leader?
Dritz Do'Urden?
We'll see in a second.
Yeah.
He has not been printed on a card before, so you kind of have to know your storyline a little bit.
I suppose Dritz has been printed on a card before in Spellfire.
So look at that one. Come back and we'll bring you the answer to that one after the conclusion of our match.
Remember, hashtag SCG Premium. You need it to win. And you can see on the left again, Caleb Durward. He's up 1-0 versus Adam Prosak. Caleb's sideboard. Another bonfire, I think, is of real value here. And Crushing Vines is specifically for decks like Adam's, which have flyers and access to equipment. Ancient Grudge is a possibility, but Adam only has two swords in his deck. At the same time, one Ancient Grudge is a nice answer to both of those swords should they both come up, but it's a hard question. What do you think about things like one Ancient Grudge versus only 2 targets?
The swords are one of the best ways that Delver decks have to compete against an Iapod deck. I'm not upset, I suppose, about running an Ancient Grudge in that spot. If that's actually how I'm losing, which I think a lot of the times it is, then no, I'm fine running the one Ancient Grudge.
So how do you feel then about this as a sideboard? 1 Crushing Vines, 1 Ancient Grudge, 1 Acidic Slime, 1 Bonfire, and then taking out some things.
All those cards sound good. Or cards I would want to be playing. So in that sense, I think I like them. So not all of them are great. So I'd have to look at what I'm actually taking out for them. But something along those lines seems pretty good. I think the Mortar Pod that's in here, I also really want.
Oh, Mortar Pod's really good. I'm not sure what I would take out to make that happen. Maybe Wormcoil Engine, because even though it's wonderful, it's also really slow.
Wormcoil Engine, I mean, The reason you'd want Wormcoil Engine in is that it continues the chain to LS Norn. Without it, you don't have a 6.
There's no other
without
6s, is there?
No, it's the only 6.
I thought there was another 6. Okay, well, take that
But
one
you're
back.
right that Wormcoil Engine is not very good in this matchup. As we saw last game, he even had a double Avacyn's Pilgrim draw and no time for Wormcoil Engine.
Right. Yeah, I thought there was another 6 in here somewhere. But that is the 6 that you'd want, Wormcoil Engine.
Yeah, I mean, I think in this you'd prefer, an ideal land against Delver, you'd prefer something like Inferno Titan or something that actually... I mean, Wormcoil's fine. Wormcoil's good. But naturally cast, it's not very good. It has this Vapor Snag problem, which a lot of 6-drops have.
If you're just joining us, these two players, friends, compatriots, are now joined as warriors against each other. Adam Prosak on the right versus Caleb Durward on the left.
Right. Turn 1 Delver from Prosak. This one's off just a regular island. Last game managed to flip him right away off Ponder. Could be very strong again. Caleb has a much land-heavier hand this time. We'll go with a turn 1 Birds.
Birds of Paradise versus Delver. Delver naturally flips.
Really strong when you get to play a 3/2 flyer for 1.
Man, this is very reminiscent of just that Goblin Guide every opening game.
Yeah.
Okay, Ponder. And there's a sword. And the shuffle, no mana. Adam looking for mana. He knows that not only is his deck, it's not incredibly mana starved, but it does need mana to function. And Caleb's deck, Thalia is a real problem when it gets out. It just slows down everything that Adam's trying to do. If we look at Adam's list, there are 26 spells in the main deck. That is a good portion of his deck, most of them costing 1.
Didn't find a gut shot, and we're going to see the Guardian of Thraben come down again. Now, Caleb still is going to have to find a way to profitably race this turn 1 Delver of Secrets, but he was able to do that last game.
Human. And there's the human. In for 3. And look at that. Only 1 land from Adam Prosak.
Now, my question is whether or not that Ponder was in Prosak's opener. If it wasn't, I would say that was a very greedy keep. And 4 mana, we're going to get Crushing Vines. That's
Crushing Vines.
It's just a crushing play from Caleb Durward.
And it is a good spell, so the Delver doesn't flip.
Attacks for 1. This looks like, Caleb really in command here.
He draws the land he needed. And copy. There we go. Take that, Thalia.
Yeah. So we have, from Caleb, kind of a lack of threats. If he can keep making them, he's, really well set here. Looks like his hand's a little threat-light, though.
Is that a Geist-Honored Monk?
Oh.
No, Thragtusk.
Okay, so maybe not threat-light. I didn't catch that. I thought I was another forest. Thragtusk into play. It flips off Vapor Snag. So now we get a Delver flip off Vapor Snag, but that 5 life plus Thragtusk is going to be very hard to race. And he'll image the Thragtusk himself.
Yeah, take that, Thragtusk. I can be like you.
Well, the punchline is that Caleb has a Restoration Angel in hand, which is really good with Thragtusk.
Yeah, we saw Restoration Angel Thragtusk happen yesterday. It almost feels obscene, it's so good.
Yeah, I mean, it is a lot of value. So Caleb, instead of Angeling, opts to cast Elvish Visionary. Oh, he has another land, so now he can Angel as well.
Cavern on Angel.
Just going to make it main phase here. Alright, Angel, Flickering Thragtusk. 5 more life for Caleb, and a 3/3 for Caleb. He has a large army in play. That 3/2 flyer not seeming very threatening right now. Alright, well, Prosak's going to need a lot of firepower here. He's going to have to chain his way, I think, up to a Talrand and start just spitting out Drakes if he wants to match the army that Caleb's massing.
Yeah.
Alright.
Ponder leaves it.
Yeah, he's going to need more lands. I'm assuming, yep, there we go, Seachrome Coast.
one of the things, and he passes the turn right there. So it's just that insectile aberration and a copy of Thragtusk. The life totals are pretty similar, 20 to 23, but Caleb does have quite a bit of power on the table. 3, 6, 11, 12 power versus 8 power, and he comes on in sensing that he does have that advantage. Adam thinking about his play here with his own copy of Thragtusk. Looks like he's got block, block. His Delver dies, his Thragtusk kills Caleb's Thragtusk, and a fresh beast is born from the death of the Thragtusks on both sides. 3 damage to Adam Prosak. It's 20-20.
Right, so we're back at the beginning, which is great for the Nyapod player.
And a Borderland Ranger. I really love seeing Elvish Visionary and Borderland Ranger.
Just all the value you can hope for.
I think it really lets Caleb get away with running only 23 land in this deck that otherwise might be kind of mana greedy.
Right. So
seeing Caleb's list actually inspired me to change my own Dungrove Elder list around to put Elvish Visionaries in it. It already had Borderland Rangers, but...
No, this is instead of Stranglergeists?
No, in addition, actually. It's
Okay.
a different deck, but I mean...
Yep.
And there's an Avacyn's Pilgrim. And a land. And Caleb passes the turn. Back to Adam.
And there we go.
Plays Talrand. I wonder how many zeros, as in Phyrexian cost spells, Adam has.
Like I said before, Prosak was going to need an army to compete here, and this is, this is how he's going to field his army.
One-man army. Or if you're out there, one-man crowd.
He probably wants to contemplate just taking here. He has a Vapor Snag in hand, which is going to deal with the beast. So trading beasts is...
And he does. He takes it.
Yeah,
Takes 6, goes to 14.
Right.
And Delver,
Thought Scour. He could make
I think it's 2 Vapor Snags, I think.
He can make a lot of Drakes.
Delver it is. I think I might Thought Scour myself right now, just to see if I can find a land.
I think I agree. He's going to pass back.
That's okay. I mean, he's in a fine position right now.
Right, Talrand really about to do some work. There's always this problem, that Caleb is not very many steps away from Adam.
Oh,
Caleb
boy.
Just is the Eleshnorn.
Is... Okay. That is
Well, that's going to just win if Prosak doesn't have anything here.
I don't think Prosak has anything.
Well, I mean, he can always try to scour into a mana leak if he kept them in, which...
I'm pretty sure that both of those caverns are on Human and then Angel.
Yeah, Prosak's like... yeah, I think his
That's a
goose
pretty
is
good
cooked.
one, says Adam. Oh, wow. Down they go.
Wow. I think that one just freshly drawn there for Caleb. That's gonna get him.
King of the One-Ofs, Caleb Durward.
Right, he's swinging everything in. Yeah, this is...
Is Adam Prozak's undefeated streak about to end?
Yeah, it looks like it. We'll see what he has here. This is 7. This is alright. We'll Vapor Snag 2 things. Sure, Caleb drops to 18.
4, 7, 10, 12 damage. Adam goes to 2 while he blocks one of those, so he goes to 6.
Yes. Yeah, Adam hanging in it, but...
Oh, he's got an image.
Right, still very dead. And he's going to scour himself, try to find something to do. And he extends
That's
the hand.
it.
That's the match.
Oh,
Caleb Durward
boy.
moving on to the finals after defeating Adam Prosak 2-0. So
Wow.
Caleb defeats one of the undefeated players, finally knocked out. That's Adam Prosak, top 4 finish. Caleb.
And Mike Alakela is going to be, I believe, on the play here. Lance Behrens was on the play game 1 and lost. Mike Alakela on the play game 2 and lost. And now we're back to Mike Alakela once again on the play. Semi-celebrity Judge James Elliott there on the left.
Yeah.
If you're from the greater Midwest, you have definitely seen him at tournaments ranging from, I want to say, the Dakotas down and over to Ohio. Do you have a horse in this race, or are you an impartial observer?
A little bit of an impartial observer, I'd say. I am charmed by the mono green deck. I think I'd like to see it make the final. It's really fun.
I am charmed. So it's excellent to meet you. I understand you have an ooze problem. Well, it's working out for you.
Lance now, though, our sole undefeated player in the tournament.
Obviously, he would want to see that continue, but we'll have to find out if it will. For those of you who are just joining us, I'm Adrian Sullivan. I'm in the booth with Matthias Hunt. And this is the Star City Games Live Open Series in, I guess we can say, sunny, not quite St. Louis. It's Collinsville, Illinois. We're pretty close to St. Louis, though. On the right, Lance Behrens, our sole undefeated player today from this weekend. Other player that was undefeated just fell, Adam Prosak, playing the mono blue Delver deck, Wizards, one person's calling it. He was defeated by Caleb Durward playing Nyapod. On the left in this match, playing their final game, Mike Alakela with mono green Dungrovelder.
And so, Mike Alakela on the play here, checking through his hand.
The last time that Mike had a strong, that Lance had a strong finish at one of these events was in Atlanta, where he got 10th place, just barely out of the top 8. This is his first top 8 here in St. Louis-ish. I like that, St. Louis-ish. I kind of wonder, for Mike's tournament experience this weekend, whether or not he's had a lot of, how do I want to put it, narrowed eyes and secretive, guffaws at his Predator Oozes all day. I mean, he's been winning with them, but it's not exactly a card that people have respected.
I don't think you shouldn't disrespect a card like that. It's a powerful card. I mean, the reason we don't see much of it is because it costs 3 green mana.
I agree that it's a powerful card, but I also know that one of the things about Magic players, and a lot of you know this about yourself, that unless someone has won with it, a lot of people don't like it.
That's absolutely true.
And so here we're seeing a kind of I don't know what I want to call it, a real debut of Predator Ooze on a competitive scene. Lance Behrens with a mulligan. Mike Alakela starts with a very unexciting turn 1 forced go, as opposed to Avacyn's Pilgrim, which is a much better start for Lance Behrens. Turn 2.
The funny thing about Mike Alakela's deck, as we saw last time,
late to the party, birds,
is that he has so many one mana creatures. Sorry, he doesn't have so many. He has 7. And I think each time we've seen him, he has not had one in play.
Well, he's got 7 plus 2 trackers.
So Lance, all 3 of his colors online, see what he's going to get put together here. Another bird.
There's a bird, attack for 1. Let's pretend that Mike were to somehow get a Dungrove into play next turn via numerous ways. Lance, if he miracled a bonfire, would be able to kill the whole team on the other side. 4 mana. Green Suns. Is it going to be for Ooze, though? I actually like getting an Ooze here better.
I do too. In this creature-based matchup, I'd rather have a Predators. It doesn't die. It's
there we
early in
go.
the game,
There's the Ooze.
and he's going to do it. All right.
I don't think I see a Dismember. Maybe I'm wrong.
Sounds like he can dodge these 2 Dismembers from Lance Barons. Absolutely. This Ooze can have its way.
I think I see a bonfire in Lance's hand.
That won't do that much.
Okay, I see a Huntmaster.
Classic Wolf Run from Lance Baron. So Lance has been on a multi-6 ramping very quickly. See what threat he can get down now.
For Huntmaster. Huntmaster, gain 2 life, make a wolf.
Comes into play. Lance goes up to 22. And birds will make another bird.
Okay, lots of mana there for Lance.
Lance, remember, with no big finisher, there's no Elesh Norn for him to slam next turn.
And the Ooze sitting there. Ooze +1. 2-power Ooze now.
Ooze will eventually take over this game. You just got to make sure that he doesn't die in the process. What actually might be almost unbeatable for Lance is if Mike sent us for a second Ooze here.
No, that's not
Thrag
bad
Tusk
either.
that's pretty good. So Alakala jumps up to 25 life, and his Ooze starts the slow process of growing.
Lance, I think, needs a sort of Feast and Famine right now. Or, for that matter, a Dismember for that Ooze. 24-20.
And Miracle Bonfire here for Lance Barons. Not the amazing spell you'd expect it to be, but still, still pretty good.
Trying to figure out for how much, though.
Well, at least 3. Maybe just 5. Maybe 5. It depends if he has another play in his hand, but I'm inclined to say
All
5.
in. There we go. 5 damage to the whole team over there. Mike drops to 19, and he ends up having a beast show up after losing his Thrag Tusk plus bird.
This really showcases the strength of Predator Ooze. There's a lot, and if this were a Naya Mirror, that would have been the game.
Yeah, I imagine you would be happy with the Dungrove Elder a lot of times, but the Dungrove Elder would have just died.
Right. Wolfir Silverheart, if compared to a 1/1, would have died. There's a few cards that actually deal well with the Bonfire for 5 or more. Predator Ooze is one of them, and
Drag Tusk is another.
Yeah.
Mike comes in with the Ooze again, leaving the beast back for defense.
So that puts it up to 2 counters on Predator Ooze.
3-3. I predict that Lance will let it hit him.
Yeah, it'll take 5 swings. At this point, starting with 3, yeah, it'll take 5 swings of it. Of Predator Ooze to kill him. So that's about where Lance will have to start blocking.
You mean starting with this swing? I'm sorry, this was what I make.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So this is hit number 1. 4 more gets him.
Green Suns for 1. Wow.
He must have
getting the tracker.
Yeah, getting Ulfenvault tracker. Which, is actually very good. You can't kill it with Huntmaster, remember.
I wouldn't mind getting another Ooze.
Yeah, well, I think another Ooze is probably a safer play.
If Lance does have a bonfire in his hand, he can cast the bonfire for 1, 2.
Yeah, the real question is, how does Lance beat just a second Predator Ooze?
I know when I've played Ooze against zombies, it just seemed unbeatable when you put down the second Ooze.
Right.
The first Ooze was a stopper, and the second Ooze was game over. Oh,
another
wow.
miracle.
He's like, okay, let me think for a second. I think what we're going to see here is if he has the mana No, he does not have the mana to double Bonfire this turn.
No, I think we're going to see another Bonfire for 5.
Another Bonfire for 5.
Like I said, wish it was another Predator Ooze, but Lance staying in this, getting miracling twice. Bonfire, so the Stranglegeist will undie, the Tracker leaves, the Beast leaves.
Man, I would love to have seen 2 Oozes. I think Mike might be out of cards.
I believe he has 1 and is drawn to 2 cards now.
Mike has to be careful that Huntmaster doesn't flip on him.
Well, the thing about these Bonfires for 5 is Lance is actually successfully racing here.
He's got a Kessig Wolf run here, too.
Right, Lance can... Right, it's... this is no slouchy story. Lance can get this game. Dungrove
only a 4/4. Pretty small.
Now, I imagine we will see a swing from the Wolf and a pass from Lance Barons. Unless he also, yeah, he doesn't have 9 mana to Bonfire for 4 from hand. He does have a Thragtusk in hand, but that can wait. I think you need to flip the Huntmaster to get rid of Stranglerootgeist.
Thragtusk.
They're going to go with the Thragtusk. So Lance moves up to 18, but not afforded any attacks from that play. Going to pass it back.
2 cards in Mike's hand, about to be 3.
Fifth lad for Mike Alakaila.
Makes his Dungrove a 5/5.
Yep. Also, I guess there could be a gamble on Lance's part. If he feels that Mike's hand's getting low on cards, he might just kind of cross fingers, hope that Mike's going to flip his Huntmaster for him. And look, no such luck.
Ooze? Oh, Crushing Vines.
There's nothing to go. On a Bird of Paradise?
I think he's doing this to keep the Huntmaster from flipping. I think that's his only spell.
Yeah. Yeah.
And is Mike stopping the attacks?
No, you. Oh.
I think
you can't. You gotta keep hitting with the ooze. That's. The other guy's got a Kessig Wolf run. Eventually, it's going to trample over and kill you. I don't think you can ever stop attacking with the ooze.
And plus, your opponent does have access to Dismember. You want to get that ooze up to a 6/6. And that is cute. Oh wow, Cavern, and he puts a human token on it there. And I think we're going to see the Huntmaster flip. Here comes the Wolf, as you were talking about before. And the ooze happily blocks it. It gets trampled for quite a bit there. What is that?
Runs it for 3, so it'll trample over. Actually, only for 2. That's pretty reasonable.
And the ooze becomes a bigger 5/5 now. It's almost ready to survive a Dismember. But remember, Zealous Conscripts are in the mix here from Lance.
Right. If the ooze gets big enough on a block, then he still has a 2-turn clock with it. Huntmaster the Fells flips, shoots Mike down to 11, kills the Stranglerootgeist. And another
Dungrove.
No more
that
Dungrove
is
Elder.
A lot of power. 15 power sitting there. Of course, a Kessig Wolf run. I think that Mike's play of getting that Ulvenwald tracker was just too greedy. I think if he had gotten a Predator Ooze number 2 there, that he would just be in complete control of this game. Lance Barons Sitting pretty here with Cassick Wolf Run, 18 life and a lot of creatures. He's got a bonfire in his hand. Three mana. Oh, maybe not. All on the bird, which attacks. That is +3 on the birds. Take 3 damage, Mike.
Just +2.
Isn't there a land below that cavern?
It's a human token.
No, I mean below it. I could
possibly.
Might be 2 damage, might be 3. Probably 2. You're probably right there.
And Revenge of the Hunted on Predators.
Oh boy! Wow.
That's gonna make a very, very big attack. That's actually. Is that gonna make? That's gonna make for lethal attack, isn't it?
Maybe. That is going to be
11 trample, which 7 sucked up. So
no, 12
4.
trample. Because it gets
12
bigger.
Trample. So he
unless
takes
he
5
didn't forget.
plus 12. He's gonna go to 1. And this looks like a victory here for Mike Alec.
It's 12 Dungrove.
Yep.
Plus
5 from the trampling predators.
11, 7.
Yeah, so it's going to put drop Lance down to 1. Make a very large predators.
So Lance, I believe, now needs... He gets a beast as long as he doesn't forget it. There it is. Lance now needs a conscripts, and he wins.
So conscripts will get it for him. I can't think of another card that does. So all right, here's his
Dismember,
chance.
a little too late.
And he
There's
has
the
it.
conscripts.
And lands Barons. Wow. Gets through that with the Zealous Conscripts. It was in his hand. Question is, does Mike survive that if he holds back a Dungrove Elder? I believe so. Close game for both of them, though. Drops Lance to 1, but Lance Barons continues his undefeated streak into the finals against Caleb Durward with a 2-1 victory over Mike Alec.